Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I've been doing some scheming here with where to put this sawmill, and this is my old boneyard here. Got lots of old equipment and stuff that you just can't throw away, pulling parts off of, and well, that swather and those two hay balers there and there are my users. That hay baler back there is a parts baler. But anyway, this is my boneyard, and so I was originally wanting to put that sawmill. That's my north property line, that fence right there. I was going to put the sawmill with the carriage that way, and then a building, and that would keep the north winds from blowing in on me. You can see these snow drifts here that come out of the north. And so I had a drawing that I was drawing up, and I had it all figured out that that's what I was going to do with it, until it dawned on me the sawdust has got to go to the north if it's oriented that way. So that would put the sawdust out onto the neighbor's place there, which won't work. And I don't have enough room to come south with it to leave enough room there. I got this little driveway going through here to get out to the pasture. So I thought about flipping it around and pointing it south. But on the south side, I've got the same problem with the sawdust. The sawdust would end up right there on that one building there is the chicken coop, and then we got hay in those other buildings. And so that doesn't work. Plus the snow comes off those metal roofs and piles up back there really deep in the winter, so I can't put it there. So I think I've decided what I'm going to do here. I'll turn this off and walk over and show you where I think I'll end up putting it. So I think this is what I've come up with. We're south from that earlier segment, going here south on the property. That right there is the loafing shed that the cows hang out in, and then I'd have to move this big old girl and that disc, and then on the other side of the fence is the corral where the steers are, and all the goats have access to that corral. So I think you can see kind of a layout. This is just my hay fields back here, going that direction. So I think I'll put the mill right here with the carriage up against that fence, and then you load logs on the one side and take the lumber off this other side, and probably out here about where I'm standing is where the D4 dozer would end up that was powering it, and I think that's a good spot for it. This ground right here is a lot leveler, so it'll take less work to get it prepared. And then I can get the sawdust up, probably go through that fence and pile that sawdust up there in the corral. And at that point, I'll be able to take that sawdust and add manure to it, to add nitrogen to it, and compost it, and then I can spread it with the manure spreader out on the pastures once I get a bunch of nitrogen in with all that carbon. So that might be handy to have that sawdust coming out into that corral there. So that's kind of what my thoughts are on where to put the mill. I'm thinking wondering whether some of you guys that have mills, I'm wondering whether I was thinking about putting it on some concrete pillars that are dug down into the ground so that the pillars were below the frost line. Because we have, I think it's like 3 feet, 3 or 4 feet they make you go down in this country to get your pipes below for the frost line. I don't know that I've ever seen it freeze that deep down here, but that's what the standards are. So I don't know if I need the pillars that thing's sitting on going to have to be below the frost line, or if I can just get some really good railroad ties and sit them right on the ground and set it up on the ground like that. So if anyone has experience with that, about how to get that mill set up as far as thinking about frost heaves in the ground, I would appreciate a little bit of input on that if somebody wants to leave a comment if they've got any ideas. So anyway, getting photobombed by all the young kids. Thanks for watching.